My name is Detective Juan Dolcine. Been a detective here with the North Miami Beach Police Department for 24 years. Started my career here on May of 1996. Became involved in law enforcement when I started with the Village of Key Biscayne Police Department in 1993-94. I was a communications officer there and CSO, community service officer, and then they put me through the academy. I went to the academy in 1995, and I met a bunch of guys from North Miami Beach that were in the academy at the time. I believe there were 12 guys, and they were like, "Hey man, you got to come over to North Miami Beach," you know. And so that's why I ended up coming over here after the academy. I got hired as a police officer in Key Biscayne. Lasted there about a month. Very grateful because they gave me the first opportunity to become a police officer. And so I did there about a month or so, and then I put my application here and I got hired here. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. I got a Haitian father and a Dominican mother. Born and raised there. I came here in 1985, September of '85 to be exact. And boy, it was rough because of the culture shock, you know, the language. I didn't know one word of English. And being that I had so much family, my dad was literally a Rolling Stone. My daddy had 36 kids. And so I had a bunch of brothers here. You know, I got brothers that were born in the Dominican Republic, in Haiti, Bahamas, St. Thomas, New York, Africa, you name it. I got brothers from everywhere. And so when I came here in '85, I went to Miami Edison Senior High. I had a rough time there because of the language. And I ended up getting to a lot of fights and whatnot. You know, it's just a long story. But I learned my Creole also. I got a lot of good Haitian friends. And also started working at what is called the Zubi Market, which is in smack middle of Little Haiti. My brother was the manager there, so I began to learn my Creole, being close to my brother and working with the Haitian people there. I began to pick up Creole. And so I learned the Creole and then English at the same time together. That's correct. And so when that's one of the main things here. They were looking for a Haitian person at the time. They didn't have any Creole-speaking officers here, and the Haitian community was growing so rapidly here in North Miami Beach. I remember the sergeant that was doing my background was Sergeant Leo Socorro, and he told me, "Hey man, we do need a Haitian person. You know, we'll see what we can do." And then went to the background. Everything went fine, thank God, and you know I got hired here on the Chief Burger back in '96. But I was the first Creole-speaking officer for the department. And so, as far as getting to law enforcement, as a kid growing up, I never thought about becoming a police officer until I came to the United States. Back home, I wanted to be an engineer or an architect and things of that nature. I was pretty good at math. But when I came here to the US in 1985, I saw how the police worked. Unfortunately, I saw some guy get shot right in front of me. My first school that I went to was Jackson Generals. And I was there for about a month and a half. And I saw a guy get shot in front of me point blank. I don't know what it was over, but and so I saw the police response, how they came around, how they did their work, how they dressed, how professional they were, and I'm like, hey man, I want to do this. And so from that point on, I had my mind set up that I wanted to be a police officer. Well, yeah, North Miami Beach is a small city, but it's a very happening city, and so. Started here, like I say, '96, went to the FTO program, Field Training Officer program, 4 phases of that, and I mean, things were happening rapidly here. The city started changing right away. A lot of officers were retiring at the time because, you know, we were just their time to leave. They were 20 years on, 18, 23 years on, and so when we got on, 95, 96, 97, most had a batch of 20, 25 officers, veteran officers that were leaving. So we had to learn quick, you know, pretty quick. Learn the city, learn the police procedures, of course, and just learn how to deal with the community. You know, for me, again, it was a plus because of the language. You know, the Spanish and the Creole helped me out a lot. But I tell you, it's not like you see on television. You know what I mean? Everything you do here affects you. Mentally, physically, your family, and so everything that you do here on a daily basis has repercussions. You know, for good or for the better, for the worse. That's just the way it is. Police work is real. You can't do outtakes in police work. Um, and so everything that you do here has a long-term effect. And so, you got to be professional with people. You got to care for people. You got to be able to come out here, do your job, and go home to your family. And just make sure that you understand you're dealing with people, not machines. And so you got to treat people fairly. And so I started here in '96, like I said. And so a few years on, because again, the language, I joined the PIO, Public Information Officer Unit. I went to different schools for that. Had a few interviews on TV, mostly the Spanish ones, because they didn't have anyone at the time that was in the unit that spoke Spanish. So like Telemundo and Univision and things like that would call me up when they needed something happened in the city, they needed some information. I did that. I did the honor guard also for a few years. CIT, crisis intervention, and also crisis negotiation. And from there, 14 years on the road. And then I joined what it was called then the Street Crimes Unit / Gang Unit. And so I came over here about 10 years ago, more or less. I've been in the unit for about 10 years. And so in the gang unit, we're responsible for, keeping with the crime trends. We do a lot of proactive work. And so we follow what's happening in the city, whether it's robberies, burglaries, auto theft, whatever the case may be. We follow those trends to be able to proactively take care of those issues before they happen or while they're actually happening. In other words, try to catch the bad guy on the act as they're doing the crime, they're committing the crime. I've always been a proactive type of officer. And so I like to do things as they're happening. I like to take care of things as they're happening. And so that unit that I fell in, thank God, the Street Crimes Unit, is the unit for me. And that's why I've been here for 10 years, because everything we do is proactively. We go out there and we actually look for the crime as it's happening. We also take care of the gang documentation. And so if we have any cliques or gangs in a specific part of the city, we have to go out. Sometimes we speak with informants. We go out and make contact with the community. Sometimes it's the parents, sometimes it's the teachers. Sometimes it's just people that you arrest. And you see tattoos on them or the colors that they wear, so we have to document that, and we keep a database of that. I'm going to stay here as a reserve officer for now. We'll see what God puts in my place. I'm not 100% quite sure just yet, but for now I'm just going to stay as a reserve officer, and I'll come in here and I'll work a couple of details here and there, and keep working on my gang documentation. I'm not completely done with that yet, and just keep putting things together, get as much information as I can for the new officers that are coming into the unit, so they have something to go by, and just come out here and work and help out, and keep serving the community for as long as I can. For the young guys, the first thing is stay safe. You gotta stay safe, and don't forget your family, because you make a lot of sacrifices in police work, and so we all have in our family and friends and people that sometimes they're not very fond of police work, they're not very fond of police officers, and so you kind of got to separate the two. You can't push your family away because they're your family, and when you're done here with police work, your family's still there. And so you have a family here, your brothers and sisters in blue, but yet you have your family, which is your blood family. And so sometimes it's kind of difficult to keep the two together because of the work that we do, and you got to keep yourself clean, you got to keep yourself within the law, and you cannot by any means violate the oath that you take as a police officer. And so those things come a little bit difficult when you have families that they do things, they do what they do, and then you have friends that do what they do, and so it's difficult to separate the two and yet still be friendly with everyone and get along with everyone. And so I say keep your family close, just be careful with the things that you do, and just stay safe. You gotta stay safe. You can go home every night. You have to always back each other up. When I say back each other up, you have to. I've been in some incidents, and I tell you, if I didn't have backup, I would not be here today. And so you got to make sure that you have your backup around. Don't try to be a hero. Though people call us heroes and why not, but then don't try to be a hero. Use your head. Follow that gut that you're going to develop as a police officer, little by little. That's going to come. And when you hear that little voice in the back of your head, you get that gut feeling that, man, this may not be right. Just hold off and back off a little bit. Wait for backup before you make that entrance. And so I made a lot of good friends here. Some are like family to me now. And I'll be around, and I expect to see them long after I'm gone from here. I love them all. You know, we all have differences at some point. I know that I had some differences, you know. We almost fist fight a few times, you know, between people, but it's all part of work, man. You know, we all got this big machismo. I'm the biggest guy, I'm the toughest guy here, but it's all part of work. You know, I love them all, everybody. I love everybody here. I don't want to see anybody here get hurt. I don't want to see anybody here go without. So I'm still around. My number's still going to remain the same. If anything I can do, you can always reach out to me, whatever it may be. I'm still Coco. I'm still here. And whatever you need, just reach out to me, and I'll be around.
So I'll give you a quick Coco story that'll show you who he really is. And no, not the other story, but you know. Oreo died in what year?
2004.
2004.
July 9th?
July 9th, 2004. We're trying to do a pickup for DB somewhere in a city around here, right? Maybe 5 or 10 blocks away was Oreo's mom's house. And we passed by that lady's house, and we spent maybe like 20 minutes, you know, and that lady, that was the happiest lady in the world. And one of the things she said is, you know what, Coco, you, and she named all the other officers that always shook up on her, have always, since the day my son died, have always come and check up on me. And you could tell that her son was her life, because the whole house is like his shrine. When I saw that, I'm like, man, this guy died in 2004. And to this day, this guy still checks up on his family. That's crazy. That's cool.
Don't start, Coco, because you know I'm going to cry too. Coco and I have been friends since the day he came to this agency. I've seen the highs and lows of Coco. I've seen the Coco. I've seen the God sent Coco. I'm being serious, because this is the overall person of Coco. When I've been through my personal loss, Coco was one of the first persons that reached out to me to make sure me and my family was okay. I've been there for him. We both lost our sons, and I've been there for him for that too. And it's just, this job takes a toll on all of us. And I remember when Coco was just so stressed out with his work, he said, I can't take this anymore, I'm coming up to DB. And then he started working with me. I was doing sexual battery. Then he said, I'm not working with you no more, because you make me sick with all these 33s. I can't take it with these kids being abused, you know. But this job has made Coco one of the best. He's been the best 15 you can ever have in the world. Coco, I'd only wish you continuous success. Keep growing in the direction you're growing in. Keep being the best husband you can be, the best father you can be, and continue to be my friend and send me my prayers and always be my lifeline like you always have been for over 20 years. And you know I love you. I don't have to tell you. Thank you guys.
Lito, Coco, and I are from BLE 165. Right? Best in 95. Those are mom.
Who, what? 85 or 95?
No, 95. 65. 95. So listen, I've known Coco since Academy. Coco to me is a dear friend. We've been here through a lot. Coco has got all the stuff that's happened to Coco. I'm always good at his health, always, you know, asking about his health. All the incidents that happened to Coco throughout his career, his shootings, everything's gone through. Coco to me is a dear friend, very much so. I'm always looking after Coco, always telling him to take care of himself. Up to this day right now, I forced him kind of like to get the testing done because he did not want to do it. And I'm glad he did it, because it's a peace of mind for his and his family. To this day, my mom, every time she talks to me, she asks me, how's Coco doing? Because that's the impact that Coco has on everybody. My mother, to this day, after 20, how many years after the academy, Coco? 25 years? 25 years later, asks me, how's Coco doing? That's the impact that he has on people. Coco thank you for everything. I am glad you're in this stage of your life, and you know, I want you to enjoy as much as I can. And I love you, brother. I really do.
Thank you.
And Lino is our boy from, come on, Lino.
Yeah, like Captain Asel said, you know, Coco and I, we all went to the academy together. Always been, even when I was in North Miami, we were both working midnight shift, and we would always talk to each other, you know, when we were working to see who was going to get like the most proactive work done. But one thing that really stands out about Coco with me is the day I got shot. And, you know, when SRT, you know, rescued me and dragged me out onto the street,
Jesus Christ.
I heard one voice. That was him praying over me, telling me I'm gonna be okay. Praying to God. And after the hospital, after I went home and everything, you know, he would call me all the time, came by, visit, you know, make sure I was okay. That's the type of person that Coco is. You know, there's a lot of things that he does that a lot of people don't see, but he does it from his heart. And Coco's a true friend, incredible person, incredible man, incredible father, and I'll do anything for him, you know. And, you know, those are things you never forget. Never forget. And anything that he does, if he needs help, he knows that he's got me and probably a countless other people, you know, that he can call, and we'll all be there for you. You know, and we love you. We're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you working here, but I know we're gonna stay in touch. You know, in the brotherhood. And you know, we wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you younger guys, if you were an officer here in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, the worst thing you could hear on the radio, especially if you're on afternoon shift and it was 50 calls a shift, and you were trying to get in your 15 minutes of peace, was priority, priority, because you already knew you were gonna work. This is gonna be a car chase at 29. I'm like, bro, won't this guy go home, bro? He won't leave. Every time, 15 minutes of your shift, I saw you on foot. Another one at gunpoint. Get me back on unit. Never mind, got sorry, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know that I need your help. I appreciate it. Take care of it. Nobody knows what happened, but he's good. He's good. I've also been one of those fortunate people here for over 14 years that have been with Coco in 100 million different calls, fights up in Zone 3 for homicides and anything you can think of. And he's one of the only people, and there's many here, don't get me wrong, but he's one of those few people that if you had a problem or you told him that your mom was sick or you told him that you were going on vacation or you told him that, you know, your back hurt, whatever it was that you told Coco, eventually at some point during the next week, the next couple weeks, whatever, Coco would always remember. And he would see you and he'd say, hey, how's your mom? Hey, are you still dealing with this? Hey, how was your vacation? Did you have a good time? Oh, good, good, good. You need anything? And that's my biggest memory of Coco. And that you're that guy, bro. You're always there, you're always involved, and it's not because you have to. It's generally because you want to, bro. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna miss seeing you all the time, you know, and the jokes and just you're a good dude, man. And I'm thankful that I got to spend a decade and a half with you, man. I just wish you the best in retirement, bro. I really do, bro.
Thank you.
So, love you, boy.
I love you right back, son. Oh, you're gonna have to bake it right after this. No problem. Go ahead and go on the tour now.
I'm going right next to you in the bed.
We keep it Coco,
Oh,
you being
boy.
a mentor to me. Those long late night calls, rescue, those days that I'm your assistant. I will always be your assistant. Coco is a family guy. His family, his kids come first. If he knows anything about you, he always asks about your mom, your children. He's been there for me personally, professionally, but he's a true friend. But he stresses me out.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a nurse. No matter what you have going on, he's gonna diagnose you. And yes, he will lotion your feet.
He did it for Jerry. I got
Yeah.
pictures.
He bathed Jerry. He lotioned Jerry. Jerry's his baby. Coco's the nurse, and Jerry's the patient. I'm gonna miss you, but it's all right. Those late calls, I'll still be here.
Amen.
Love you, bro.
I love you too. Thank you.
One time we're sitting on the desk, and I was going through a very hard time at the time, a long time ago. We're all gonna cry over these things. Coco's sitting next to me, giving out one of his many bowls from Maryland or whatever. Long bowls. Coco used to be a dispatcher also. Well, dispatch with me. And we're sitting there, I'm just doing my own thing, thinking my own personality is just coming out normal, you know, happy-go-lucky. And Coco just picked up on it like this, and he started asking me, "I'm okay, how you doing?" I'm like, how do you even know? I'm talking to you normal. And Coco just has that intuition and that caring soul. That's something I'm never gonna forget, that he reached out during a very hard time in my life. A lot of people here feel the same way. Coco, you're always gonna be my family, my brother also. You know, I love you with all my heart. And please don't forget any of our numbers, because we won't forget yours. And guys, we're gonna say today, we're gonna miss a very, very good officer. Coco's an excellent officer. Anyone that's worked with him a number of years will tell you that. And a very good friend, who's still gonna be in our lives, but we're gonna miss him here at the police department. So Coco, I love you, and I'm gonna miss you a lot. Thank you.
I really hope they got a list or something, because I told you.
Yeah, they have all this. I don't know if this is updated or all updated or not, but they do have this. Gas mask, face shield, helmet, hats, riot, baton, handcuff. But then it has...
You have a bunch of uniforms too. Yeah, but I told you just about everything though.
Okay.
I told you.
Well, either way, when we sit upstairs, we'll go over
I told you
it all.
just about everything, but this world is crazy. You can't even.
lunch.
You can't even.
Let's go over here.
Oh, you guys got me good, man. You got me good, bro.
Thank you all for being here. Obviously, we know why we're here. If it wasn't for the help of everybody here right now, we wouldn't have been able to make this happen. So I thank you all for coordinating, because I know there was a lot of moving parts going on, but we all pulled through and we made it. You know, we did it, and we did it special for him. You guys know how long Coco's been here. You know, 24 years. I haven't been here not even half that time. I do remember a few years ago when the first time I decided to put in for street crimes. There was a bunch of younger guys around the time that I got hired, but Coco put in as well. And I remember when he came for his interview, I was thinking, I'm like, man, like this guy, his age, you know, he should be twirling down, you know, just hang around on day shift, not doing much. And this man decided to interview, go to street crimes, and like he never missed a beat. One thing that you can never say about Coco is that he lost the passion for this career. He's had it since I've been here. He's never lost it. Even up to 2 weeks ago, he sent a text, because he's still on our street crimes group text. He sent a text about wanting to come out from one last hoorah. I'm like, no, Coco, you need to stay home. You need to stay home and relax. So he's never lost that fire. That's something that very few nowadays have, and I'll applaud him for that.
Hey, Chief. Thank you.
And to tell you one thing, this goes back already 6 years ago or so. I got here and I met Coco, and man, like he was just saying, Duke was saying, somebody so passionate for their career, somebody that want to get things done, and I put him in charge of making sure we identified all the gangs in this city. And he was like a boy just playing in I guess a house of Legos, man. He couldn't just wait to get this started and make things happen. And that just goes to show you somebody here, a senior person wanting to have the ability to make such an impact and the ability to save us all and create a better environment. And that was you, Coco. And in the 6 years plus that I've been here, that has been you, man. You have just been incredible, not only as a compadre, right, but as a friend, as a mentor to so many, as an informal leader to so many. People here look up to you, regardless of what position you hold at the time. Everybody here loves you so much, and it's for a reason, because you always cared, and you always cared about their back. And I'm hoping that in my time that I was here with you, that I made an impact for you, and that you really felt that how much I cared for you, and how much I cared for your family. And I really try to portray that to you because you meant that much to me as well. So in the years to come, all I can wish you is a long life, a lot of health, a lot of happiness. And you look back at these times and they're only positive times. Times that you can come back and just remember all the good that was done here, all the good that you did here, and all the love that you surrounded yourself here and that you provided for everybody else. So again, I just wish you all the very best in the many, many years you have to come in. And hopefully, like I tell so many, that you get more years out of your retirement than you put in, right? And then we win. So amen on that. So thank you again. Thank you. Anybody else?
Let's try to keep it on the phone. You guys know I can talk. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about when we met all the way up until now. That's 28 years. So we'll be here for a while. Well, Coco, the day
before dawn.
The day has come, and first of all, I want to congratulate you on such a great career. Okay, it's been a pleasure working with you. Not only that, I want to congratulate you with being able to touch everybody's life who's here. Look at the sea of people that's here. I've gotten text messages for people who cannot be here to pass on, their well wishes to you, like, Casarino, and you're gonna make me cry, and Kathy Caterman and all those other people. From working afternoons and working all the different units that we were in, it's just been a great pleasure and it's just been wonderful. I also enjoy. You know what I'm gonna miss? All your friends chasing me down at the light, thinking I'm you, saying Coco, baby Johnson. And I'd have to tell them, I love you. All right, and the love is here, and I got to tell you that you're definitely gonna be missed, and I'm gonna miss you. We'll continue to talk.
Hey, listen, that's for you. They just messed it up.
Coco is like the brother I never had and never wanted, just so you know. But to liven things up a little bit, when I first met Coco, obviously it was many, many years ago. From the day I met him to today, he's always been very unique in the sense that he has always been working. He's always had a very strong work ethic. Family life has always been, it's been about family, it's been about friends. He's been through a lot. As a colleague, I can say that he's probably one of the best people that I've ever worked with in my career. As a friend, what can I say except that you're one of my best friends. Wait, don't do that just yet. I told you I was going to try to lighten it up. So what a lot of people probably already know about Coco is Coco, how he is, and I just never figured out why he got that name Coco. And I still don't know why, and I don't even want to know at this point. So if anybody knows, please don't even mention it, because you're going to traumatize everybody. But anyway, Coco, you've earned it. You've earned this right to be here. You've earned everyone who's here respects you. Everybody loves you. And there's nothing more I can say about you except that you're one of my heroes.
Thank you. I'll pay you later.
Don't worry. I'm waiting for that money. But congratulations. You know I always wish you well. You know you have a family here. You have friends everywhere. In every country, I might add. You know, listen. When they did the 23andMe, they didn't have Coco in mind, because don't ever do 23andMe, because you're gonna find out I am really your brother. So congratulations, my friend. I love you. Right back. Thank you.
In the interest of time, I don't want to bore everybody, because we could sit here and talk about this man forever. But a quick story. So last week, Coco texted me out of the blue and says, "Hey man, I really appreciate you." And I was like, no. So I called him. I was like, "You appreciate me. I appreciate you."
Amen.
Because I can honestly say, over the 10 years or so, or me and him go back a long time, but that I was a street crime sergeant, there's never been a time that, "Hey Coco, we got to pick up somebody in Florida City. Hey Coco, we got to pick up somebody in Broward County." This man was never hesitant to be right by my side, saying, let's go get him, Sarge." I've never met a better father, a better son to his mother, a better friend, a harder worker. And I told you all this, so you know it's sincere, and I told you this in private, and I'm not going to share everything I told you. Thank you. But please, I will honestly say, Coco always tells me, "Hey man, you know, thank you for the things you share with me." And I always told him, well, I told him last week, "You got it backwards. I'm the one who should be thanking you. Because these last 10 years were rough. You know some of the stuff that we had to do. And I can never ask for somebody to be by my side, a better partner, a better friend, a better brother than you. And for that, I truly love you." Thank you.
So I worked at Coco for a while in street crimes, and obviously some of the best times, some of the best laughs was working with Coco on surveillance. And some of the scariest times has also been with Coco. Yes, I think out of the 5 shootings, I think I was in 3 of them. Sorry, remember that night?
All of them.
Oh, yeah. But I can tell you that one of the best police officers and one of the most aggressive police officers has been Coco, and I've learned so much from him. But forget about the arrest. It's how great Coco is to the community. And nobody realizes what the things that he does to the community. Forget about what he does to us and the police officers and the text message and everything, but what he does to the community. And that night that we went out and got a Christmas tree and the food for the family and all that, this is before social media. Coco's been doing this before social media. And forget about the father and all that, the great things he does for the community. And as a backup officer, how bad? And Sarge, you hit it right in the head. Let's go to Florida City. We're gonna get a 31 subject. We're gonna get this guy. Coco's got your back no matter what. Coco, and I'll never forget that, man. You are an incredible police officer, father, friend, everything. I'm gonna miss you so much, man. Love you, my brother.
Come on, let's do it. Talk about when Coco rubbed your feet with lotion. My bad, I didn't mean to say that. My bad. And I got the picture.
It's very ticklish.
Oh boy. Well, ain't you for beauty?
All right, well, listen. Oh, wow. I can only speak of Coco. We all know about him in the police work, like they said, but I guess I can speak, as a friend. He's always been there for me. Again, with those texts, Sarge, I know what you mean. I get them, you know what I mean? But he means it. It's not something that he has to do, but he'll do it. And, we're going to miss you, man. The 3 amigos, we've been on the afternoon show, been through a lot. If you ever wanted to learn, right, like Coco's that guy. Like, it didn't matter what it was. He wasn't great at one thing, he was good at everything. So whatever it is you needed to know, you go to Coco. If he didn't know, he's gonna find out. He ain't gonna let you go to sleep till he find out. I'll tell you that right now. But he, again, like I said, being helpful was his biggest thing, man. And unfortunately, these 2 guys, I never thought I'd put lotion on another man's back, but I had to do it for both of them, and I don't know. I'm still kind of confused by that.
He has very nice hands.
Yeah, whatever, man. But I know he would do it for me. I know he would do it for me. And, I really wanted to get that off my chest.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother.
Well, to piggyback off everybody, I want to try to convince this man to
stay around to kind of teach the new folks that's coming on, because you got a lot to offer. Especially nowadays, you're not going to get that. You have a lot of new people who don't know about the little ins and outs that, you know, we all learn that they're not going to learn. And really, you know, you always concentrated on officer safety. That was your biggest thing. Forget about everything else. They get away, but the officer safety was most important. And you definitely have a lot to offer. And I hope you reconsider and stick around and maybe do that. You know,
Who's paying?
So, but over the years, you know, we just had this good working routine, and of course, you know, went in over to personal life and, you know, meeting the family, getting to know the family, becoming part of the family, you know, and just seeing how, you know, you dealt with things and stuff like that. So I learned a great deal, and like, you know, Jay was saying, is like, man, you know, if you don't know the answer, you're going to make sure you get the answer to you, you know? And I said it before, you always a friend to even the people you didn't like, you know? You pass, you say, hey, Jerry, man, tell them to do this, tell them to do that, blah, blah. You know? So, I'm going to definitely miss you on this level, you know? But I know you're always going to be around. You gave everything to this community, gave everything to this department. Unfortunately, it came with a little bit of consequences and stuff to it, but you know what? You'll be all right. And, you know, you still got this family, you got your family, you know. And believe it or not, you know, a lot of times we don't hear it, but you also got the support of the community. Because every time I'm going around to a call, oh, you know Officer Coco, oh, you know Officer Coco? Oh, that's my uncle, that's my cousin, that's my this.
Is that females?
I'm like, man,
Mainly females.
what's up with this guy?
God.
So, and you know, the one thing that a lot of people don't know about you, you give phenomenal sponge baths. Phenomenal. So you guys got to experience this.
I'm out.
So you've been really good with me, you know, in recent times. And just want to thank you, man.
You're good. Oh God, don't do it again, please. Please.
So I spoke the other day at roll call. I wasn't going to say anything, but now that Jonas called me out, I guess I have to say something. I don't like to talk in front of audiences, but so Coco, myself, Jonas, we go way back. Joe, and I have to mention his name because I never forget about him. I think about him every day. Oreo. So those are the days that I remember on midnights working with Coco, Jonas, Oreo, me, Ben Anderson, Carl's brother, Steve Lucas, NMB 111-666.
God.
And you know, Coco's been through tough times in his life, like a lot of us have, and he's really been a very good friend of mine. He's changed my direction in life because Coco is the epitome of a phenomenal father, phenomenal husband, a great son, and whenever somebody needs something, Coco was always there for him. And I remember the night that Coco got involved in his bad motorcycle accident, and we were all called, and I went to the hospital, and I spent time next to him at the bed, and we prayed for several days. And I remember somebody telling me that his mother didn't have a ride to the hospital, and I would pick his mother up every Sunday, and his mother and I would spend time and drive to the hospital and sit by his side. And that's just the kind of man that Coco was, is that Coco would have done it for me. Coco did whatever anybody asked of him. Coco's one of the most trustworthy officers, one of the greatest unspoken leaders that I've ever seen in my life. I'm very excited to see you retire. I'm very excited to see you move on with your life.
Thank you.
I don't think the chief has signed off on your reserve paperwork yet, but we'll talk about that.
Yes.
And but
he just doesn't know it.
he doesn't know it. But yes, thank God, you know, Coco, you're retiring because the police shootings have really slowed down.
Oh.
And, nah, Joe. But
That's messed up, bro.
Coco, I really think that you have a great life ahead of you, and please keep us in your life.
Yes, sir.
And please.
Absolutely. You guys got me good. You got me good because I'm here for property, and I even brought more property with me. Last night before I went to bed, I said, you want me to put property? am I missing something? It's like going through every drawer, every closet. And sure enough, I found a couple of cameras and a couple of things there. I'm looking for stuff. You know, just going under the bed, just looking for stuff.
TV in the back of the car.
You know, well, you know, I left that. But I mean, I'm looking for all kinds of property. Like, what else am I missing? I even called her, remember? I called Diana. I'm like, hey, I'm turning just about everything. What else do they want, you know? So I'm thinking I'm missing something, you know. But you guys, you set me up good. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know, what can I say? I'm overwhelmed. No. I'm here for property. I'm thinking, you know, just, I don't know. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. I really do. I mean,
Good one there.
24 years and change, and it's just.
Thank God we got this back.
Yes. Yeah, the rim oil.
Remington oil, we need it. We're allergic to it.
There you go.
Just bring your cars, Coco.
Hey, no, don't say that. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you, everybody coming out here. I really do. And you know, like Jerry was saying, I didn't get along with everybody all the time, but honestly, I care for everybody. You know, I have a very strong temper, and I like things done a certain way, and officer safety has been always been my thing. And some people, I'm not a supervisor, I've never been in charge of anyone, so sometimes I came across a little hard on some people because I just want to make sure they were safe. It wasn't for bad. Trust me on that. It wasn't for bad. I always meant it for good. I love everybody here. You know, everybody's my friend. Everybody's my brother, my sister here. You know, and I'm always around. My number's gonna stay the same. If you need anything, you know, you can always call me, and I'll be around. But I can't say much because if I start going, I'm telling you, I can't breathe. You know, but I appreciate you.
Can't say much.
Thank you very much for coming out and showing support. I love you all, and just be safe. Be safe.
All right.
Gotta do it.
Turn them up. Turn them up.
Oh boy.
Wait.
777.
777. You got this, Coco.
Oh, no, sir.
Attention all units. Attention all units. After 24 years of esteemed and dedicated service to the city of North Miami Beach Police Department and the residents of North Miami Beach, as well as its surrounding areas, Detective Juan Coco Dolcine will be retiring today, May 28th, 2020. He began his journey of distinguished service on May 2nd, 1996 as a road patrol unit. Detective Dolcine continued to strive for excellence while serving the community as a member of the Honor Guard before delving into the community policing and gang street crimes unit. Dolcine continued to excel in the Detective Bureau as well as the Crime Suppression Team and as a Police Information Officer. He has received several accolades to include Officer of the Month, Officer of the Year, and Distinguished Service. Detective Dolcine has displayed tenacity, perseverance, and grace as he was able to triumph over what could have been a life-altering accident, all while being a dedicated officer, father, and friend. Detective Dolcine, your hard work and dedication were an asset to this agency, and you will be truly missed. Detective Dolcine, unit number 777, 0906. Love you, Coco.
I'll go my brother under retirement. We'll miss you here.